I think the easiest time frame in the world, the most civilized time frame to make money is a 15-minute chart because the spread isn't too apparent for your entry. If you get in the, if you start getting on the 5-minute chart, there's too many signals and it becomes a hindrance for the spread. A 15-minute chart, every 15 minutes, there's going to be a possible entry. Every hour, there's certainly going to be a good setup, and every 2 hours is going to be a great setup. 3 hours is going to be a really good setup. So there was a good setup here of a double top, made a bottom. You pull the trigger right there on the 15-minute, and then you can put a tight stop in. So you can have a stop. If you got in on this, you could have a stop on that bar, or you could have it. This is like an hour back. It's also right where the market turned on this. And when the market turns on that 15 like that, of course this is didn't turn on a dime on the 15 there, but so I'll take my first profits at a retest of this peak here, but I'm looking for the breakout. This is probably a breakout at least on the taking out 2 hours of data on the 1 hour. So I'm just gonna get to that and then out and then maybe sell. They're gonna try to chase down these. Nice thing here is that if you're on the 1 hour and you go to the 15, you don't have to redraw that trend line because you can just toggle through the peaks on that. You may have to zoom out to kind of get an idea how that falls in. But when you're going just from 15 to 30 to 1 hour, it's quite a world there. Another thing that I find to be better for order flow is to have a 1 hour chart, and they're all these white lines are just nothing but a 1 period moving average. And then you have the half hour and you have the 15. And looks like it's going to tank. It's getting out. So if you have it like this, you can see the unfolding. You can see how it unfolds here. And it's a lot easier to see that the half hour had an entry. So you have if you had an order sitting at this peak, you got filled there. So this peak coincides with this double peak. And it's a lot easier to keep track. You know, it's kind of an exact top off of this, from this to this. This one a little smeared, but definitely safe for trading like this. Now, I do think it's going up, although it's just this kind of ridiculous tentative. Is it going to break out? And I'm waiting for the pullback, too. So I took a partial profit there because I always want to be taking something off the table. Can't be sitting in these trades for 2 hours and not make money. I want to be making money every 15 minutes or every hour. Otherwise, just you know, you could swing trade, 3-day swing trades, right? But if you could trade around your position. Say you're long, you could take something off along the way instead of being in one position. This one's got to be it. This one's got to do it, and that's just too much pressure, especially if you're in a big position. So if you slice it thinner, instead of opening a store and selling nothing but giant cars, you're selling tires. You're selling everything down to smaller items. Or somebody comes in the store, they don't want to buy a $1,000 suit. Maybe they just want a necklace for $25, but you got to have a ton of necklaces. So that's what it is. It's just you can't just, these trades that you're going to make so much money on, it's just not worth the exposure sometimes to build yourself up to something that's going to be a mess. So this, I lower my expectations. I take profits up here, bam, it's probably going to ricochet back. Probably sellers up here on this 1 hour. So we just went down 300 and pips in 3 days, you know. So this is kind of no-brainer retrace down in here. And on the 1 hour, you got this beautiful double bottom here. You know, you got orders down there, so you would have got filled here and here again, like hours later when the Fed news came out. And plus you had sell limits sitting up here. So you can trade the news. There's nothing unusual about this. This is always going to be a sell region. It's always going to be a buy region. Now, when the market falls out of bed like this, you know, this first bounce here is your only. I mean, this is straight down 1 hour. So if you miss that move, here was the flag, or the, you know, this is the bear flag, or the consolidation before the next plunge. I mean, you could definitely have sell stops on every one of these, especially when you get down to about 30 pip range. You got a sell stop there. Or if you've got, if you're down at a smaller time frame, of course, you're going to see the top become a bottom right inside of this. So there's a story within the story. Now this, you got a nice, you know, this is a nice place to get in later when London opens or Europe opens. This internal top became that beautiful, cute little bottom, and then, you know, bounced up and filled this this region here, which is kind of the contention zone. That when you fell through that, everybody bought there, and then when they came back to that, through that, they dumped. Of course, this is actually unfair value if you consider this to be fair. So you're going to have to figure what the median price is, the average price is, without using moving average. Of course, if you're a 4-hour trader, then obviously you bought pretty heavy into this, where they just grabbed whoever is stopped down there, and you were buying this low. So this low became that low, and you just bought. Yeah, pretty healthy stop in there, or you just had buy limits sitting in this window, and you just doubled your money there. But now it's time to think about taking profits as we come up into this 4-hour and just come up. So I'm getting ready to get out of this, actually, because this is kind of a, it's not quite breaking out. Of course, I'm just too impatient, I guess. I just wait 5 more minutes, so I guess I'll just pause it here and come back and but something happens, right? But yeah, I'm kind of eager just to take these pips and run, because I do think we could retest and come smashing all the way back to this area here, where this is an internal top becoming a bottom. But if I just had the 1 hour, if I had to live in just the 1 hour chart world, which is pretty good living, because you have really good trades, you don't have to wait for these markets to make your MACD, which is watching like it's like a creeper gear. You know, it's like indicator. That'd be like having a speedometer that's, you know, has lag on your speedometer in your car. Or, you know, like you get an update on your oil being overheating, you know, 3 days later. Yeah, well, you know, we're averaging it out. You know, it wasn't that bad, but now look at it. So MACD is a little torturous for me, but I mean, I guess it's okay to look in for the breadth of the market. If you consider, you know, the velocity of breath, it'd be like looking at a giant breathing really slow, sleeping, and you're like, wow, if I had to breathe like that slow, I'd be out of breath. But I guess each to his own, as they say. But I just don't like the high risk trading. That's all. I mean, this market's too squirrely to turn your back on for even a moment. So let me see what happens here. I'll come back if I'm a millionaire. I'll definitely come back and tell you all about it. I just got out of the trade. I couldn't take the pressure. It's too ridiculous. Sellers are going to come in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a buy limit below. So if that's a real breakout, We're going to come slamming back here, and then we're going to go take out the high. So that's a 15-minute chart, and I could drill down to the 5-minute on this, but wait for that London Open when things get really out of control. See, now here's the 5-minute, which it's a little bit too much to process because it's just, you got to look at the whole chart, you know. A 5-minute chart, you really just have to see it for what it is there, and it's way more complex, but you can still, you're going to look for triple tops, you're going to look for quadruple bottoms, you're going to look for, it's not good enough just to have one swing high like this. But as you can see, they already pulled it back, so I'm buying on the, that was the breakout. Here comes the pullback. And now I'm going to lay in an insane amount of orders below for the, if we get a psycho rip back, which Forex is just notorious for that. And I think that's what's so difficult about it is there's 1-minute traders out there that consider this to be an entry. And if you're looking at that 1 minute, it's just this beautiful stairway, you know. Here's a double top, triple top, breakout, slams back into support. Bam, 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 bam. But you literally got a, now 1 minute chart, you're in and out, and the spread starts to become an issue because some of these moves are like just double the spread. So if you're going to pull the trigger, unless you got a super tight pip, this is 0.6 pips right now on the spread. So what would you consider to be your take profit? Probably about 3, if it's 3 pips, that's asking quite a lot actually. If you're going to just take 2 pips, then you're getting so close to the spread, it's costing you a lot, but you're, you know, it's low risk, there's a lot of trades. That's if you're really impatient and just, I guess you're trading big enough. Of course, you know, you gotta think on your feet there. 5 minute, yeah, I guess you got, you know, half hour. You might wait all day for, or you might wait at least 3 hours for a nice setup. So I think the 15. If you're going this, I used to do this all the time. 1 hour, 30, 15. This way, you know that it's going to take 2 of these to make 1 of these, and 2 of these to make 1 of these, and you got it in quadrants there, and you can see where the psycho plunges or the psycho rallies, where the holes are filling up. So you kind of have this void right here that's forming right now, where we could come back and revisit all the way down. So I don't know if this support will hold. So I'm not going to put one order at this support. If it comes back to here, I'm just going to put a pile in because I don't know. They may come all the way back to here. There's no telling how. Now this is going to last 15 minutes and it's going to go all the way down to here. So I like to use this one a lot. Because psychologically, I don't have to, if they do a flash crash and then they bounce it back up, then I can totally relax. This, and it's a juicy, it's a high probability trade. Now this was going to last a half hour, and this is less orders, just 3 orders, but a big span here. So if all your orders are big span now, this is going to be 1 hour. And it's going to start in a little bit tight, actually. And it's been difficult to figure out what the best way to go is on this grid entry. I just think that if the order lasts a long time, it should be deeper. So should you fall asleep, now this one's going to be a 2-hour order. And this is going to be very deep. Of course, you could still launch this order today when the news broke, you could have launched that one.